I know you're skulking out there in the dark. Why didn't you just walk in on your hind legs like a man?
I didn't want anyone to follow me here from Boonesboro.
Well, that's admirable. But anyone not welcome would have been dead before he got 2 paces past my first sentry. And now, the information that you promised me?
What about my $100?
Well, you get it. If what you tell me is worth it.
How do I know you'll pay?
I guess you'll just have to trust me.
But I...
No buts, Mr. Fargo.
It's just that I've never done anything like this before. If it weren't that my sister was a bonded servant,
Your personal problems bore me, Mr. Fargo.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's a shipment of arms and ammunition.
How big a shipment?
A full wagon load.
And where and when?
Look, you said if it was worth it. Well, you can see it is.
Not until I know I can get my hands on it.
Daniel Boone and his Indian friend are on their way to Salem Station to take delivery.
Just the 2 of them?
As far as I know.
They can't be so stupid as to try to transport such a valuable prize without protection. Corbin! Luty! Mr. Amos Fargo will be our guest for a while.
Mr. Decker, I gave you the information you wanted. Give me my money and just leave me alone.
I just naturally don't trust you, Mr. Fargo. But when I get my hands on that cargo, you'll get your 30 pieces of silver.
30 pieces.
It's the established price for selling out a friend.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Well, you've got 2 cracked spokes in that wheel, mister. I could wrap them with rawhide so they'd last a while, but if I were you, I'd get new spokes put in.
Well, how long would that take?
Well, they've got to be made. I'd say 3-4 days.
That's utterly out of the question.
Now, Martha, I'm sure this young man knows his business.
He doesn't know ours. We can't spare the time.
That's up to you, ma'am. But I sure wouldn't start out over the wilderness road with a wheel like this. One good bump and...
Just wrap the wheel, young man.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrew.
Daniel Boone.
Been quite a spell. You remember Mingo?
Sure. But what you 2 doing in Salem Station?
Oh, not much. We just here. Anybody been asking for us?
Not around here, Daniel.
Young man, we're in a hurry.
Daniel, no one knows the road to Boonesboro better than you. So would you tell this lady that wrapping those spokes won't be good enough?
Ma'am, if I were you, I'd take Andrew's word for it and get that wheel fixed proper.
I didn't ask for your advice.
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Pardon me, Mr. Boone.
Yes, miss?
My name is Susan Fargo. I'm on my way to Boonesboro to join my brother.
Well, that'd be Amos Fargo. He's talked about you.
He has?
Well, hardly anything else. He's told me about trying to get money to...
Oh, it's all right. I'm not an indentured servant any longer. Poor Amos. He scrimped and saved for so long to set me free, and now my master has just died, and in his will he gave me my freedom.
Then Amos doesn't know you're coming?
No. I want it to be a surprise.
Well, that certainly will be a surprise to him.
It's a long way to Boonesboro.
Well, I'm traveling with the Wymans. According to his will, they're to see that I reach Boonesboro safely.
Young man, are you just going to stand there gaping all day?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Boone, how soon will you be returning to Boonesboro?
I don't know, ma'am. Why?
Perhaps we could strike a bargain. I might be willing to pay you to guide us and see to it we get there safely.
I'm sorry, I'm not for hire.
Oh, I'll make it worth your while. I'll pay you $15 for your trouble.
Yes, well, I must be getting back to the tavern. Ladies?
Well, I couldn't do that. Not this time. We'll look forward to seeing you back in Boonesboro.
I don't wish to haggle, Mr. Boone. I'll make it 25.
I'm sorry. Andrew, if anybody's looking for me, I'll be in the tavern.
You are a greedy man, Mr. Boone. All right, I'll make it 35.
I still think you ought to get that wheel fixed.
Savages and peasants. I can abide neither. Such impertinence.
But it appeared to me that he was just thinking of our safety,
Oh,
Martha.
you're always such a fool about people. Young man, can't you hurry up with that wheel?
Well, Donald.
Great deal, Daniel. Thanks a lot.
It's been almost a year, hasn't it?
Sure has, and don't you ever do that to me again.
Yeah, the months go by so fast, you can't tell what's going to happen. There's a table in the back room. I'll bring the ale.
Don't forget the food. Oh, it's still warm.
Sit over here, Daniel. There you are. I reckon you're here about that shipment of arms and ammunition.
Apparently there aren't any secrets in these parts either.
Well, don't fret about it. I'm the only one in town who knew it was coming, because I knew you was coming, too. That shipment's due today.
Well, Nathan, since you're so well informed, maybe you can tell us whether or not we're going to have a military escort.
Well, you can call it military if you like. Just going to be a bunch of farmers with uniforms about as makeshift as their training.
How many?
Well, there was 8 enlisted men under command of Captain Harper.
Harper. After eating jerky for 3 days, I'd almost forgotten what food tastes like. You're a disgrace to the American Indian, Mango. Your ancestors used to live for weeks at a time on nothing but jerky. Yes, well, only half my ancestors. The other half were very partial to good roast beef and cheese and ale. See, you are feeling better. If I could get a night's sleep, I'd almost feel human.
You better get it right now. If that shipment gets here, we're going to have to start back right away.
In that case, I'm going to pray that it doesn't arrive until noon tomorrow.
Captain Harper, he's here.
Never before have my prayers gone unanswered so quickly.
Cheer up, Mingo. You can sleep in the back of the wagon.
Yes, and a nice downy bed of muskets and rifles.
Captain Harper is Daniel Boone.
Mr. Boone, glad you could make it. Captain, perhaps we better discuss our business outside.
I think it'd be more private in here.
He may understand English.
Oh, I do, Captain. As a matter of fact, I like to think that I speak it fairly well.
Captain Harper, my good friend Mingo.
Well, you certainly look like an Indian.
For good reason. I'm half Cherokee.
Raised and educated in London. Sit down.
Won't you join us in an ale, Captain?
I'd love to. It's been a long and dusty ride. Mr. Boone, how many men do you have with you, sir?
Well, Mingo's my entire command, Captain.
You mean the two of you are going to try to get this shipment of arms through by yourselves?
We sort of figured on a little help from you.
Well, I was told to deliver the wagon here, and that's all. My men are most anxious to return to the farms. As a matter of fact, so am I.
Captain, is there anything in your orders that specifically forbids you to escort the wagon all the way to Boonesboro?
Well, no, not specifically. But you must understand, my men are farmers, not soldiers.
Captain, with the British giving rifles to the Indians, the lives of all the settlers on the frontier may well hinge on our getting this wagon through.
We all have a stake in the frontier. Very well, gentlemen. You have yourselves an escort.
I'll drink to that.
To a safe and peaceful journey.
Mount up, boys.
We're ready, Mr. Boone.
I'd like to ride out of here quietly while folks around here are still asleep.
Right.
I hope they're not rushing on my account. I won't be awake for at least another hour.
Get up there! Take a look up there.
Oh, no. Stubbornness and stupidity are blood brothers.
Never mind your ancient Indian proverbs.
The last thing in the world we need is excess baggage, and particularly that female. Now, Daniel, you did your level best to warn them to get the wheel fixed properly. I suggest we just close our eyes and go peacefully on our way.
You wouldn't do a thing like that, would you, Mingo?
I'm sorely tempted.
At last, somebody's coming. Come on, John, get our things together. Hurry up.
Why, I declare it's Mr. Boone. It's Mr. Boone.
Miss Fargo?
Hello. Mr. Boone,
Hello, Miss Fargo.
I hope you can help us. We seem to have lost a wheel.
Well, it's about time you came along. That friend of yours is going to get a piece of my mind, Mr. Boone. The first little jostle and the whole wheel falls apart.
Ma'am, if I recall, he tried to warn you.
Getting us stranded out here in this wilderness, 2 women, and a poor excuse for a man. Heaven knows what could have happened to us. Well, don't just stand there. Help us load our things into your wagon.
We seem to be causing you a great deal of trouble, Mr. Boone.
Oh, it's not your fault,
Come along,
Miss Fargo.
Mr. Boone. Do you think this could be some kind of a trap?
No, I don't think so, Captain. We saw them in town yesterday, and we know they're en route to Boonesboro, too.
Well, I certainly don't like the idea of them riding along with us. It's bound to slow us down. We've got enough on our hands with that cargo.
Well, I don't like it either, but we can't move this wagon until we get that wheel fixed, and we can't leave them out here, no telling when another wagon will come along.
Very well, Mr. Boone. It's your decision.
I figure we'll unload this and we'll get that wheel off, and we'll
It's
be
all
on our
because
way.
of your greed, Mr. Boone. If you'd accepted a fair price to guide us, none of this would have happened.
Daniel, would you mind?
And if you think you're going to get paid 1 penny, you're sadly mistaken. It'll take all our money just to get that wheel fixed and pay our expenses while we're delayed. And one thing more, what are those soldier boys doing following us?
Well, ma'am, those soldier boys just might save your scalp before we get back to Kentucky.
What exactly do you mean by that? Mr. Boone. Mr. Boone, wait a minute. Mr. Boone, do you hear me? Mr. Boone, I'm talking to you. I demand an explanation.
I might mean that we're carrying arms and ammunition in this wagon that a lot of people would like to have, including the Indians.
Indians?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean we're in danger and you're deliberately compromising our safety by taking us with you? We'll be much better off right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready to ride, men.
All ready, Daniel?
Hi, Carter. How are you?
I'd begun to wonder what had happened to you.
I had to talk to you to take a long way around, so I passed those soldiers on the road.
Soldiers? What soldiers?
Captain and 8 men riding escort to that wagon.
Well, that's 9 soldiers plus Boone and the Indian.
They're 11 to our 9. You know, I don't fancy those odds.
No. But would you fancy our 9 to their 2? All we have to do is convince those soldier boys that they're needed at home.
How do you do that?
Argo, how long have you been living in Boonesboro?
3 years.
And Boone thinks of you as an honest, upright citizen?
What are you getting at?
Well, if you told him something, he'd believe you.
Believe what? Now, listen, I'm in this too deep already.
Well, you still do want that $100. And you'll get it, but, you're going to have to earn it.
I told you I'm not going to be part of any killing. I'm not going to do anything.
You'll do it. And you'll do it convincingly. Or you will be part of a killing.
Mrs. Wyman, I wanted to thank you. That food was delicious.
Thank you, Mingo.
That does it, Mr. Boone. Livestock's been watered, all the wheels greased. Continued good luck, we'll be in Boonesboro this time tomorrow evening.
Well, I'm going to be happy till we roll through the gates of the fort with our cargo and skins intact.
Mr. Boone, about our wagon. As soon as we've delivered Miss Fargo to her brother in Boonesboro, we'll be anxious to get back to Boston.
We have a good wheelwright in Boonesboro. He'll have your wheel rolling soon.
You mean he'd travel way out where we left the wagon just to fix a wheel?
That's right.
My. In the city, a man can't depend on anyone but himself.
I suppose you're right, but it'd be a sad day out here when neighbors won't help each other in time of trouble.
Things are so much more simple here. A man knows his place more clearly.
Captain. Daniel, I'm mighty glad I run into you. Everybody's got to load up and move out right now.
Now, hold on a minute, Amos.
Mr. Boone, who is this man?
Amos Fargo, friend from Boonesboro. What is it?
Everything. There's no time for making overnight stops with the cargo you're carrying. The British are moving out of Fort 96 and marching into the valley.
Well, Captain, that's where my farm is. I gotta get to my family.
My home's in that valley, too, Captain.
Right, everyone's in.
That means Boonesboro's in danger, too. With the Indian tribes to the west house in the pay of the British.
Well, how'd you learn about this, Amos?
A courier rode through Boonesboro. He wanted every able-bodied man we could spare to make a stand against the Redcoats, but nobody's moving until you give the say-so.
Mr. Boone, I know I promised you an escort. This changes things considerably. I recognize the importance of this cargo to secure our flank on the frontier, but...
Well, I understand, Captain. Everybody has a desire to protect their own.
Good luck to you, Mr. Boone.
Captain.
Sergeant. Yes, sir. Break camp. We're heading for home. Get these men mounted. You 3 men are dismissed.
All right, men. Let's go. Man up.
Dig out, man.
Daniel, has it occurred to you that that courier may be a British trick to draw the soldiers off?
To make it easier for someone to capture our cargo, it has. The British or anyone else with an eye for our precious arms and ammunition. A trick or not, we haven't a right to keep those soldiers, even if we could.
Oh, it didn't appear to me that he was lying. I suppose he could have been, though.
Well, either way, Amos, you had no way of knowing you did the right thing.
Well, in any case, we'd best make the most of what we have and prepare for the worst.
Well, I think the 3 of us can make a pretty good showing with all the rifles we have if we have to.
The 3 of us? I figured I'd going back to the fort with word from you, Daniel.
Well, I reckon they will be anxious, all right, but they're just going to have to wait.
Think you can drive this wagon, Amos?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
If there is anyone out there waiting to attack us, they'll have an easier time of it at night.
Yes. With the soldiers gone, we'd be like sitting ducks here.
There's a fair-sized cave up here in the hills not too far away if we can make it before dark.
Well, the wagon's all hitched.
Mr. Boone.
Goodbye to you, sir.
Goodbye, Captain Harper. Oh, Captain, how long will it take you to get back to your home?
Oh, 4 or 5 hours forced ride if these horses hold out.
Well, it struck us that this just might be a trick. Make the wagon that much easier to capture.
I guess that could be possible. I don't see how I can take the chance that it isn't. If I were the only one concerned.
Well, of course not. But if you do find it as a...
I'll lead a fresh company of soldiers back here personally.
We'd appreciate that.
Goodbye again, Mr. Boone.
$5 hours there, 5 hours back. I doubt there'd be any of us left to appreciate anything.
I'd feel a lot better if we 3 were the only ones. Oh, by golly, Amos, I almost forgot. We got a surprise for you.
Surprise?
Susan?
Amos! Oh, you poor dear. I wanted to surprise you, but you look as though you'd seen a ghost.
What are you doing here?
I'm free, Amos.
But you were going back to England with Mr. Wingate unless we could save $300 to buy you freedom.
Yes, that's the way it was.
I already saved $200, but I could...
I know. But Mr. Wingate died, and in his will he gave me my freedom.
Then I don't need the other $100.
No. I'm free, Amos. I'm free.
Boss, your plan worked just like a charm. Didn't take those soldier boys 2 minutes to skedaddle out of there.
could be a decoy move.
No. I trailed him for 3-4 miles. He ain't going nowhere but home.
No, it still bothers me. Oh, Boone doesn't fool that easily.
Oh.
What about Boone, Ludi? That man ain't stupid. As soon as the soldiers left, he started breaking camp.
Well, that's perfect. Picking him off on the trail in the dark is going to make it real simple.
He headed right for that cave up on the Porcupine.
Oh. No doubt figuring to ford up there until morning.
Well, that makes it easier. We'll have him caught up there just like a possum up a tree. Now, it stands to reason they haven't got enough food or water to hold out very long.
Yeah, but long enough for that captain to find out that he's on a wild goose chase and then come back here to find out why.
Why don't we take him now?
That may require a bit of taking. Since he's decided to hole up in there, he must be smelling something in the wind. And then with all of those guns, gentlemen, Boone and the Indian could put up quite a battle.
Then there's that other man and the 2 women with him.
2 women and a man? You didn't mention that, Corbin.
Well, they weren't traveling with him when they left the Salem station. Changes the odds again, huh?
It does that, but perhaps to our advantage. Those 2 women could get in his way.
Yeah, and Fargo's in there with him. Maybe he can get the drop on Boone when we attack.
Yeah. One of the cardinal rules for men in our trade, gentlemen, is never put your trust in an informer.
Yeah.
However, Fargo or no, I'd say that we have Mr. Boone precisely where we want him. All right, get your horses, gentlemen. We're going to pay a call on Mr. Boone.
Put the powder in the cave. We'll use the heavy stuff to build a barricade.
Orders us around like cattle. Insists we stay in this cave and doesn't tell us why. We have a right to know. Ask him.
Oh, now, Martha, Mr. Boone...
Ask him.
Mr. Boone, my wife and I would like to know why those soldiers left so suddenly, and what did we come here for?
As I told you, it's just a precaution.
Yes, but against what?
I don't know. Maybe nothing. But if there's trouble, you'll know about it soon enough.
Susan, we've got to get away from here without them knowing.
What?
You're in great danger here.
I? What about the others?
There's nothing we can do to help the others. Our only chance is to get out of here before it starts.
Before what starts?
Shh.
Amos, what are you talking about?
Susan, just trust me now. Please. Come on.
Amos, what is it? Tell me.
Why don't you tell us all, Amos?
You've been acting strange ever since you got here. I think you'd better tell us why.
I sold out, Daniel. There was no courier. I was told to say that to draw the soldiers out.
Oh, Amos.
By whom, Amos? Who bought you?
Simon Decker.
Decker? Don't you know who Decker is? He's trying to seize these rifles and this ammunition to give to the Shawnees to use against all the settlers in Kentucky.
No, I thought he only wanted them to sell for profit.
How could you?
Don't you see? I thought that you were leaving for England, that you'd be a bonded servant for the rest of your life unless I did something fast. There just wasn't any other way to raise that $100 in that amount of time.
It doesn't give you the right to risk other people's lives.
What's done is done. Now, how many men are with him?
I'm not sure. I saw about 8.
Does he know where we are?
I don't know.
It won't take him long to find us.
We better make the most of our time. Let's get some fires started.
Daniel, I'm a pretty good hand with a rifle.
I wouldn't know who you'd be aiming at, Amos.
can you?
All finished.
Not too soon. Someone's out there.
Be Decker. I'd rather be waiting for Indians or redcoats.
Oh, locked in with a room full of angry rattlers, for that matter.
Those fires will keep him at bay for a while. He won't risk his skin unless he has to.
He knows they won't last all night. And if we move out to feed those fires,
pick us off with pleasure.
Traitor. Because of your greed and stupidity, we all may die.
Now, Martha, there's no good in it.
Yes, there is. And if there's any chance at all of stopping those cutthroats, he's the one to do it.
You leave him alone.
Leave him alone? Maybe I should thank him.
She's right, Susan. I'm responsible. If there were only some way to stop them.
There is. There is.
No, Martha.
You just keep out of this.
No!
Susan!
No!
Now listen. There's no other way. And there's no one else to do it.
Let him go.
God, he's going to try to kill Decker.
That started, and Mrs. Wyman has started it. She's as good as killed Amos.
Now, Mr. Fargo. Now, where do you think you're going?
I gotta see Decker.
All right, go.
Fargo, come for your blood money,
I want to talk to you in private.
Gentlemen, Mr. Fargo wants to talk in private.
Hello, Woody.
Well, you've earned your $100.
Boone knows you're coming after the wagon. He's ready and waiting.
And how does he know that?
I told him.
And then you came back here?
We picked up some people on the trail.
As a man and two women.
One of those women is my sister.
Oh, I see. Well, that is too bad. Why didn't you bring her out with you?
She didn't want to come.
Well, that was foolish of her, wasn't it?
I don't want anything to happen to her, Decker.
Of all the things in this world, what you want, Mr. Fargo, matters the very least. Your, 30 pieces of silver, Judas.
I didn't come for your money, Decker.
And how far do you think you'd get after you fired that?
After I shoot you, I don't care.
No, I think you really mean that. But you're going to have to shoot me in the back.
What difference? I die either way.
Now, that's a very sound argument. In that case, I suppose I'm going to have to deal with you. I'll tell you what, Mr. Fargo. Some people never learn. You can't beat a man at his own trade.
stash a few of these rifles in the cave just in case. Can either of you two use a rifle?
I haven't fired one in quite some time.
Well, all you gotta do, cock it, aim it, and pull the trigger.
Are you asking us to help in the defense of your cargo?
No, ma'am, not my cargo, your lives.
Well, we have no quarrel with that man out there. If you want to fight him, you can just fight him yourself.
Why don't you give him the arms, Mr. Boone? Are they worth your life?
It's not just my life, Mr. Wyman. It's the lives of all the settlers on this frontier.
That's what you say. I don't believe you.
Well, I don't have time to convince you, but you better be ready to use this.
Mr. Boone, I'm a pretty good shot with a rifle. I'd like to offer my help.
Thank you, Susan.
Daniel. What do you make of it?
Well, I doubt that he's coming to tea.
Digger! What do you want? A talk. Perhaps we can strike a bargain.
I doubt that.
I'm alone and unarmed, Boone.
I doubt that, too.
Come on out where we can talk.
I can hear you just fine from where I am.
Eh? I told you he was too smart.
All right, Boone. No more cat and mouse. I've got 8 rifles looking down your throat. When this fire burns down, we're coming in after you. Boone, if the lives of those women in there mean anything to you, you'll come out now. The only thing that interests me is this wagon load of arms, nothing else. All right. If you give yourselves up peaceably now, you'll all be free to go. Well, that's my proposition. Well, any questions?
Just one. How do you figure on getting back?
Boone, this is a flag of truce.
Well, now, I admit it looks like one, and if anybody but you were carrying it, I'd believe it.
Why, Daniel, you rascal.
Now, you just keep coming in a straight line between me and your boys out there, or I'll have to pull this trigger. Slowly.
All right, Boone. My men are still out there. When those fires burn down, they're coming and get you. All of you.
Well, there'll just be one less rifle fire. Now it's time up, Mingo.
Now you've done it. Now none of us will live.
That's right, ma'am. My boys aren't going to like this at all.
Where's my brother? Where's Amos?
He's dead. Now all of you are going to have to die, too.
All right, Dicker.
You fool. You stupid, stupid fool!
Mr. Wyman, I'd appreciate it if you'd keep your wife under control.
Martha, please. We'd better go inside the cave.
Miss Fargo, I'm sorry. I just hope it works, Daniel. If it doesn't, it's likely there'll be too many of them for us. Well, they'll pay the price for what they get.
Miss Fargo, feel up to helping us?
I want to.
I give you the word. Easy. Sorry. Come on, ease as hard as you can. But not until then.
Any minute now.
We're gonna fan out. Don't charge till I give the word.
You heard what I told Boone. The only thing that interests me is that wagon load of arms. I'd rather see no one die for it. But Boone, well, he'd sacrifice you all just to protect his precious guns. You know, when that fire burns down, and it's due to any time, my men are going to attack, and unfortunately, they're not going to be particular who gets killed. Of course, if I could just get out there to talk to them, all you have to do is cut me loose, and then let me take that gun, so I can get the drop on those two out there, and well, then I could protect any killing.
Don't listen to him, Martha. He'll say anything to get free.
Don't you see? We're in the same position, you and I.
You give us your word. You just take that wagon and go.
Yes, ma'am. Not a shot would be fired.
His word is no good, Martha. He's an outlaw.
Oh, sir, that's where you're wrong. I'm an agent for the British government. They're trying to stop this rebellion. The fact is, I'm being paid to prevent killing.
Maybe he's lying. Maybe he isn't. But if we don't free him, we'll certainly all die when his men attack.
There goes the fire, Daniel.
Well, we can expect him any time now.
It's time. No. Let him sweat first. They'll be shooting at shadows.
It's so quiet out there.
Shh. They're coming before the storm.
I suppose you've waited like this many times before. Does it always seem so long?
Don't move an ounce, Boone. Guns down, both of you. Nice and easy.
You see, he could have fired the gun. He was telling the truth.
Could have fired once, my...
Corman! Bring the men in! We're gonna have ourselves a turkey shoot!
Let's load the rifles.
Prepare to pull the strings, Susan.
Moody! Joe!
Come on, Susan.
You don't expect us to go along with you in this terribly dangerous territory.
Martha.
We could all be killed.
Martha, be quiet. Just for once, be quiet. Now get inside and get your things together.
Yes, John. Yes, John.
What? Well, it seems tonight the lamb has turned into a lion.
Mr. Boone?
Give up on me, miss. You won't be able to save me for the hangman. I'll die here. She seems very upset. I guess she never shot anybody before. That girl, she's Fargo's sister.
That's right.
That's very poetic. Boone.
You'll inform me as soon as the gallows are ready.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the ripidest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Hands up. Wait outside. The gallows will be ready in a few minutes now, Boone. I detest waste.
The idea of swinging at the end of the rope doesn't make me too happy either.
But it doesn't have to happen.
Why? Have you changed your conditions? No. Well, then what are we talking about?
Enter. Everything is ready, sir. I'm willing to drop the condition that you arrange a treaty between us and the Shawnee.
You still expect me to tell my friends and neighbors that I was wrong when I advised them to fight for their rights?
A public retraction of your treasonous statements against the Crown is essential.
And impossible.
Corporal! Escort the prisoner to the gallows.
Daniel Boone, you've been found guilty of treason against His Royal Majesty King George III. The penalty by order of the commandant of this post is death by hanging. Sergeant?
Sir.
Proceed to carry out the sentence.
Yes, sir.
Julia! She might still be alive. They can't have gone far. Select your men. Corporal Tompkins. Sir. Form a squad. Yes, sir. Sergeant Reynolds.
Sir.
Take care of these men.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, all you're doing is supplying them with more targets. Any men you send out will end up just like those.
Advice, Boone? From a traitor? I suppose you'd forget about that girl out there.
I understand your concern for your daughter, Colonel, and I share it. But the lieutenant's way, and I doubt seriously if you'll ever see your daughter alive again.
Squad's formed and ready to march, sir. Good luck, Lieutenant. Thank you, sir. Right, turn. Forward, march.
The lieutenant's probably right about one thing. It's my guess your daughter is still alive. With the Shawnee arrows.
Shawnee? If you'd arranged that treaty...
Wouldn't have made any difference at all, Colonel, one way or the other. Penango never has and never will sign a treaty with anyone. It's my guess he's holding your daughter prisoner for bait.
Bait?
Bait for British scalps. The men you just sent out, the men you'll send after them when they don't return.
How many men do you think Penango has?
Enough. It'll seem like hundreds to Drake. He doesn't know anything about fighting Indian style.
He may not have to. I've never heard of an Indian yet. He couldn't be dealt with if he was given enough.
Can you give him back his wife and 2 sons killed by the British at the Battle of Stone Creek?
And you think you can do what a squad of British regulars can't?
With their help, as decoys, I think I can. And besides, I have very little to lose.
Sergeant Reynolds?
Sir.
Give Boone everything he needs. Rifle, shot, powder.
Yes, sir.
And Sergeant, you'll go with him.
Well, are you ready, Boone?
I am, but you're not, Sergeant. You're going to have to get rid of that red coat.
But that's against regulations. And besides, the colonel will skin me alive if I do.
Well, the Shawnee will scalp you if you don't. Take your choice. That coat will draw Indians like flies to honey.
Bye. Get me that old pair of buckskins over there that our scout once wore.
It's a nice-looking pair of boots you got there.
It took me about an hour to put that shine on them. No, not my boots.
The woods are full of dead leaves and pine needles. The Indians have keen ears. If you wear those boots, you're going to sound like a couple of grizzlies wrestling in a dry bush. Now put on something like this.
Now, you take good care of my uniform until I get back, you hear?
What's going on here, Boone? Sergeant Reynolds is a British soldier.
That's right, Colonel. Penango's looking to kill British soldiers.
Sergeant?
Sir!
If it only seems as if Boone is trying to escape, shoot him. Shoot to kill. walk, woman, or I will kill you here.
Those men, you just murdered them. Murdered them!
Yes, I murdered them. And I will murder many more. Now walk!
Hold! Tompkins! Sir, this is where they ambushed the carriage.
I'll look for signs ahead, sir.
You two men, fan out. Look for signs of the trail.
Here, sir. There's been a scuffle here, sir.
All right, on the double.
From now on, Sergeant, you better stay behind me. Break single trail, make less noise that way. And remembering what your colonel's orders were, my back will make you a nice big broad target.
And now, Boone, General Braddock could have used the likes of you.
You were with Braddock? I mean, left at Worm.
We were 1,000, but only a handful of us survived. The Indians outwitted us. We walked right into it.
That's what your lieutenant's trying to do.
When you are no longer of use to me, I will have much pleasure killing you. We go!
Hold it. Rest a moment. Lieutenant! What? It's Julius. She's leaving a trail. They seem to be heading east, sir. Corporal, be alert for any other signs. Have the men proceed. Fall in, men.
I can't go any further.
Weaklings, like all the women of the whites, soft and useless.
Some water, please. Please.
when you learn to butcher deer, gather wood, and look after Penango's needs, I will let you be my squaw. Soon, you will whimper like a child. Where the girl? She'll lead us right to those murdering savages. Forward, straight ahead.
Look at them. They're walking right into that trap.
Looks peaceful enough.
You're not using your eyes, Sergeant. There's only one engine down there, probably to close the trap from behind.
Well, they'd better be warned.
Not just yet. Penango's using Julia as bait to trap Drake, and we need Drake as our own piece of cheese. Don't worry, Sergeant. We're going to leave the back door open for your men. I'll probably pick up something I'll need later. Come on.
We do not want redcoats to lose your trail.
We go!
Lieutenant coming?
Just like he was invited for tea.
If this works, we'll get him out of our hair.
I don't believe I understand.
You will. You just keep an eye out for Penango scouts. They listen for sounds like that. Duck over here and see if the lieutenant picks up the other trail.
I sure thank you for that, Mr. Boone. Indeed, I do.
You'll make a fine engine fighter, Sergeant.
She's still leaving a trail. Look, another sign.
They seem to have changed direction, sir. To the north.
That's strange. Very well, Tompkins. Have the men step up the march.
Forward!
Worked.
Where are the redcoats? Why did they not follow? Have they forgotten you so soon?
There she is. Aye, the poor lass looks like she's been through hell.
I'm sure she has.
It's going to take some doing to get her out of there.
Penango!
Stupid redcoats were lost. I had to send my braves to lead them to my trap.
Sergeant, we've got only one chance to try and save her. Under the circumstances, we better wait till night to do it.
Lieutenant!
Hold your fire. Forward, on the double.
Do you see them, Tompkins? Completely lost, sir. All right, have the men fall in and we'll proceed. Yes, sir. Fall in, men. Up! March!
Well, there's less than an hour of sunlight left. Better try to work our way up behind them.
Boone! There's the lieutenant, and he's headed right for them again.
Now we'll have to get closer. Into a lion's mouth with their eyes wide open.
Now they've got to be warned.
That's just what I'm going to do, Sergeant.
Take cover. Boone!
I suggest you lower your voice, Lieutenant.
What do you think you're doing?
I'll tell you when we move your men out of here.
Corporal, place this man in irons.
Begging your pardon, Lieutenant, but the Indians are waiting in ambush for you right over the knoll.
How did you get here, Sergeant? Why are you dressed like that?
Please, sir, we're under orders from the colonel, and I suggest that you do what Mr. Boone says.
I'll tell you when we move your men to safer cover.
Squad!
Quietly, Lieutenant.
All right, hold it here. Now, I demand an explanation.
Lieutenant, before you and I start talking, I suggest you send a couple of men out there in the trees in case Penango saw our move.
Tompkins? Sir. Take Sims and Jennings. Yes, sir. Mr. Boone, I had those Indians on the run.
That's what they wanted you to think. You were walking into a passel of errors, Lieutenant, a trap.
You said something about orders, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
I assume you're aware of what these say.
Mm-hmm.
The way I read them, this only delays your execution.
That's right. Unless the colonel's daughter is returned safely to the fort.
Unless you are responsible for saving her life.
Well, I expect the colonel will take your word for that, Lieutenant, if we manage to rescue her. There's more in there than that.
I can read, Mr. Boone. The colonel clearly states that I and my men are to take orders from you.
That's right. I figure if you and I fight Penango instead of each other, we might have a chance. Might we?
I already said I understood the orders, Mr. Boone.
Good. Let's start by moving out of here. Penango will be wondering what happened to you.
All right, men.
Form up.
Those red coats. We're gonna have a full moon tonight.
Waiting for us. Like a herd of stupid cattle. Look! See your redcoats? After we kill them, I will let you see the taking of their scalps. Then...
I suppose I should thank you for saving my life.
It's not necessary, Lieutenant.
Redcoat! Lieutenant Gerald! Your woman will make good squaw for Penango! Lieutenant! Come save your woman from Penango! We are waiting!
It's Julia.
Don't be a fool, Lieutenant. Come back. It's a trap, Lieutenant! Lieutenant, you can't do that girl any good, Dad. Going after her is exactly what Penango wants you to do.
I'll challenge him to open battle face to face. We beat them once.
That's because he took you for fools. He won't be that careless again.
I'll meet him under a flag of truce. Surely these savages must have some sense of honor.
Well, some do, these don't. All Penango's interested in is killing redcoats. He doesn't care how. This is his country, and he makes the rules.
All right, Mr. Boone. We'll do it your way. The colonel's orders don't give me any other choice. But if your way fails, I'll take great pleasure in saving the hangman the trouble of killing you.
Fine. Good work. You're still shining in the dark, Lieutenant. Better help yourself to more of this mud. Well, now, don't be shy, Lieutenant. Here, let me help you.
If they could see me now at the Royal Military College at High Wycombe, I'd probably be shot.
It's not exactly spit and polish. You gonna take that pig sticker, Lieutenant?
Of course.
Well, we're gonna be belly crawling through some underbrush. You may hang on something and rattle at the wrong time.
Mr. Boone, this saber is a part of me as much as your rifle or that cap is a part of you. The Colonel's orders do not give you dominion over my weapons.
Well, don't get testy, Lieutenant. You can keep your
saber, Mr. Boone.
Let's move out.
All right, let's move out.
I kept these things that you asked me to. Now, what would you have me do with them?
No, just hang on them 2 weeks, and I'll tell you later.
And Mr. Boone, take it easy on him. He's been trained for years to become an officer and a gentleman, and you can't change that all in one day.
I'm gonna have to try, Sergeant. A girl's life depends on it. And ours.
Go hungry, then. You will die soon anyway.
Go ahead. Kill me.
We will wait for the British here. Build a fire. We'll draw the redcoats to us. I will have the pleasure of seeing your face watch a man die. I will kill him slowly.
Lieutenant, I'll take the men forward and get them in position. I hope to be back before Penango finds out what we're doing. Now, you stay here.
You'll be gone soon.
Yeah. Don't worry, Lieutenant. I'll get her back. around. I'll stay here and hold them off.
Boone! Mr. Boone! We got them. We fooled them. We got everyone, sir.
You all right, Sergeant?
Not a scratch.
I want to apologize, Mr. Boone.
Don't you think we ought to be getting back to the fort, Lieutenant?
At your pleasure. Tompkins? Have the men fall in. Yes, sir. Line up! Forward! March!
Mighty pleasant sight there.
Dismantling the gallows? Yes, for me, too. I've never had to hang a man. I don't relish the idea.
Well, the way things are going, Colonel, you might be a little premature. That is, if you insist on hanging everybody who talks against your king.
But he's your king, too, Boone.
Well, now, that's what it's all about, Colonel, but if you don't mind, I'll just leave that argument for later.
Well, at least it doesn't prevent me from expressing my appreciation. I'm a very, very grateful father, Boone. Enter.
Carriage is ready, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant.
Sir.
Look at yourself.
Sir? I can't rightly explain how that happened, sir. Unless maybe it's because the boots are so much more comfortable than the... Yes, sir. Immediately, sir.
You're leaving none too soon, Boone. few more days and British military discipline in this fort would be a shambles.
Son?
Sure, but I bet that noise scared the deer off.
Bet it scared everything for miles around.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Khatha ayikhona ningancami. Bazabulawa ndim not nina bayeke njalo. Sabalungisa. Makakhulume. Where's the captain?
What captain?
We don't know anything about your captain. Let us go.
You were following us.
That was a deer's track we were following.
Must be what your pit's for.
Lungi, Samshai.
Ah.
Kobosh. Wena? Veni kubele lomduma nuvale nonke. Nina, sizani nabo. Asambeni, khona manje. Hamba. Asamba. Sizani nabo.
Empo, Lando.
Mandela. Penda esihlahleni. Yabaqhobosha lapha emthini phampisana. Baqhoboshana abathakathi. Kudala besihlupha la.
Why don't you let us help you?
Help us? Help us?
I didn't do that.
'Twas a man of your color.
Do you answer for all men of your color?
I answer for my people. The child is not your concern.
A child is a child.
You do not believe this. You say it only to save your life. To you, we are cattle.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true. I know the thoughts of the white man. If I known them sooner, would not be as you see us.
How'd you happen to end up here?
These are all that remain of my people. Once a village of hundreds. These live on the promises I make them. Home and freedom, as I live on my anger. We were many, many brave hunters, many fruitful women, living in peace. And then we began to hear of whites with chains and guns, of their greed for black flesh. Flesh to be whipped and chained, and driven onto great ships in weeping herds. We fought well and killed many, but we were taken and chained. And all through the long nights I whispered to them, Harambe, freedom. When they marched us to the great water, when we sailed chained to the stinking decks of the slave ship, I whispered to them, Harambe, live, we will be free. I promise you. I, Kamba, promise you. We came at last to a great city, New Orleans. We smashed the chains that tied us on the deck, stole a boat and came up the great river. But the captain followed us. We walked across the land, toward the morning sun, toward home. For 30 days we walked. 10 died, and 10 remain.
Mbo, babo pen la pislashli. Babo pen. Never, kuna manje. Babo.
Yebo. And we will walk until I've taken my people home as I've promised them. And nothing will stop us. Not the black feet of our children. For we'll carry them on our backs. Not the fear of the white man. Oh no. For we'll slip through their fingers like black shadows. Not hunger, not pain, not chains, not guns, not the strange creatures of this strange land. For we're free people. And we'll return to our home and be free.
You won't even be able to keep them alive. Not without help.
And you, of course, will help us. Why should I trust you?
You have no choice. You keep on heading east, you'll come into the cities, where they'll put you in chains again and sell you.
White men, like you.
Almost any white man you see.
But you're different. You want to help us.
Yes, I am different. Just as all men are different from each other. Just as you're different from Africans who sell their own brothers to the slavers. You know as well as I can. Good and bad. Has nothing to do with color.
Why should you help us?
Since you're not likely to accept any other reason, just let us say that we want to help you in exchange for our lives. You need food, medicine, tools to remove those chains. We can get them for you. We have supplies cached near here where we keep our traps.
Mango, Waza, Mkulul, Msig indam. Msig.
Mulalo.
Msig indambo.
What about my son?
I do not trust you. But you're right. I need help. And you will help me. Not because you're different, but this one stays. To make certain that you do not come back with other whites.
How do you know I won't anyway?
Because I've seen your eyes when you look at your son. Because I believe that you value him.
I have your word he won't be harmed?
Not if you bring food, medicine, and tools to cut our chains. And come alone.
No! Mango, that is Bamsad.
You mean I'm supposed to travel without a weapon?
This is a rungu, a good weapon. And return here by nightfall.
Well, Meacham?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Captain, this ain't magic. You follow a track, the track stops. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, what did I hire you for? You're supposed to be an expert tracker.
Deer, puma, bear. They're smart, but they ain't this smart.
Smart? They're ignorant savages.
Begging your pardon, Captain? They may be savages, but they ain't ignorant. They're smart enough to stick to the stream when they catch wind they're being followed.
That blasted Meacham, I'll have you keel-hauled. You tell me you lost them.
Nah, we'll just follow the stream and find where they got out. We'll find them. Your sensible savages don't like the water that well.
Sensible savages. A few touches of the lash, we'll see how much sensible they are.
Huh? Could be this is them.
Yeah.
Yeah!
See any trucks over there?
Yeah, heading this way.
We found them.
Found somebody. We'll see.
What is it, Mason?
Somebody's coming. Everybody spread out. Keep quiet. Howdy. Hey, I'm sorry I jumped out on you like that. I thought you were somebody else.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you've seen what I'm looking for.
Who is this man, Meacham?
The name's Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone. Say, I heard tell of you all the way down to Louisiana. My name's Jack Meacham. This is Daniel Boone.
Captain Asa Webb, the good ship Connecticut. My pleasure, Boone.
Glad to know you, Captain. No, you'll excuse me, but I'm kind of in a hurry.
I take it this is your territory. Perhaps you've seen some of my cargo.
Cargo? In the middle of Kentucky?
That's pretty good. This damnable cargo has legs, Boone. $10,000 worth of African slaves. Prime stock for the market in New Orleans. Escaped my ship. You help me find them, I'll pay you well for it.
Sorry, but it's not in my line.
You generally carry this kind of a weapon, Boone?
You think I owe you some kind of explanation?
No, my boy. Just friendly interest. I figured maybe, if you would run into some kind of trouble, it'd be useful for us to know about it.
I appreciate your concern, but I am in a hurry.
Boone, I'm a hard man, Boone. A good captain. Took me 20 years to get my own ship. I don't intend to lose it now. If I lose that stock, I lose my ship. Now, this weapon you're carrying is definitely African. A Rango. Now, where are them slaves?
I told you it's not in my line.
This is a bill of sale, Boone. For them blacks for property. My property. Now, why don't you?
I'm sorry, I can't help you. I told you I'm in a hurry.
Boone, you know it's against the law to aid fugitive slaves?
We don't have much call for it out here.
It's against the law of your country, even out here. Don't you stand on the laws of your country.
I'm standing right in the middle of my country, waiting for you to let me pass. Men are blocking my way, Captain.
My humblest apologies, Mr. Boone. But this weapon you're carrying is undoubtedly African. Fashioned somewhere between here and the Mississippi River by my property. What do you use it for? You're gonna have to answer me, Boone. Where did you get it?
About 5 miles upstream. I found it. Does that answer your question?
Oh, very nicely, and thank you, Mr. Boone. Now, if you'd just be kind enough to lead us there.
I don't know about these others, Meacham, but you look like a man who wouldn't have any trouble finding his way 5 miles upstream without help.
Our Mr. Meacham's top hand at chasing wild geese. But we're after more important things now, Boone. Shall we stop playing games?
Now, wait a minute, Captain. You hired us to track a passel of slaves, not fool around with Daniel Boone.
We're not going to fool around with the great Boone, Meacham, at all. He's just going to guide us to where the slaves are. Aren't you, Boone? Thanks, Daniel. Well, I'm glad to see you're being reasonable about this, Daniel. You know, I never figured a man of your reputation would stick his neck out for a bunch of them soulless black savages.
It's been proven that they have no souls, of course.
Oh, yes, established scientifically beyond a shadow of a doubt. You should see the way they live over there, Dan. Oh, bloody savages. We bring them here, you know, give them a roof over their heads, some honest work to do, food and drink, and some good Christian learning, and it's the best thing in the world from Dan, and believe me, the best thing in the world.
Well, it's amazing they don't pay you for the privilege.
Ah. After them, Jack. Boone, I'll blow you.
All right, get him out. Get him out. Drop your guns or I'll blow his brains out.
Yes, stand right where you are. You're not gonna kill me, Boone.
You make it mighty Tipton, Captain. Now tell your men to put the guns down.
I said stand fast. You're taking orders from me. You chess player, Boone. Ah, because this looks like checkmate to me.
Kill you, Captain, if I have to.
That's no point, Al. Don't you see? You need me alive. I need you alive. You kill me, my men will feel free to kill you. And if I kill you, then I don't get what I came after, do I? Huh? So it does look like checkmate, doesn't it, Dan? Oh, sure. Sure, you're free to leave, Boone. But there ain't nothing's gonna stop me from following you, now is there, huh? Yes. Looks to me like checkmate, doesn't it to you? I spent over 20 years at sea, Boone. Man gets the chance to do a lot of thinking. Thinks about a lot of things. What makes men do some of the things they do? And I've been thinking about you. What are you, one of them bleeding hearts? Now, you look like a God-fearing man, Boone. I'm sure you must have read the good book. It's all in there. The sons of Ham were born in bondage. They shall live by the sweat of their brows. Tamba's supposed to be a slave.
And you're supposed to be a slaver. And you're supposed to traffic in human misery. That the way you read it?
That's the way I read it. Thinking about maybe trying to escape when it gets dark, huh? Ah, you better put that thought right out of your head, Boone. Because if we don't get to Camba's camp by nightfall, well, they will just throw a couple of, half hitches and a bowl and a two around you, make you nice and snug till morning, huh? Thank you, Donald.
Bonitas de la Paz.
Diego.
Pangisan. You hungry?
My pa, he'll be here soon with food. You and your people, you can live here. It's good land. And there's plenty of game if you know where to hunt.
Perhaps, but this is not our home. It's growing late.
He'll be here soon.
I hope so. And I hope he will not be foolish enough to come with other white men.
He gave you his word. He won't go back on his word.
We shall see. Hinda. Gehen! Gehen! Gehen!
Kaba, what is she having her hand? On the ground!
Huh?
Kaba, if she ain't near those berries, she'll die.
Over here, low. Huh?
Kaba, untie me. I know what to do. I won't run away.
Over here, low.
Kaba, please, untie me, or she's gonna die.
Over here, low. Huh? Over here.
Those berries are deadly poison.
Let you mess.
I need some water.
Pangisa.
Cherokee country. They ain't no Shawnees this far south.
Not usually. But game is running low in their part of the country. There's Shawnee hunting parties all over this area. How about it? Do you men know Shawnee sign when you see it?
Maybe they don't, but I do. Now lay off of them, Boone.
Did you hear that, Meacham? You better keep your eyes open.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
That bird.
Huh? A bird? What are you talking about? All right, let's get out of here. Jim?
Indian beads. Could be Shawnee, could be Cherokee.
All right.
Well?
Shawnee.
You can't be for sure.
You said you knew Shawnee sign.
Now, what is it?
He says it's Shawnee.
You believe him?
Yeah, not really. But I figure Boone likes his scalp as well as the next man.
What are you up to, Boone? Come here, Major.
Listen, Meacham, we don't like this.
You shut.
Steady, lads. Now, steady as she goes. Can't you see he's only trying to panic you?
And you're going right along with him. Now, come on, let's get this line moving.
How do you know there ain't no Shawnee out there?
Well, if there is, you'll take care of them. Help me get my stock back where it belongs. That's what you're being paid for, ain't it? Come on, take it.
They ain't paying us all that much, Meacham. Anyway, them slaves are slowing us up. I say, let's get out of here.
Nah, let's stick around for a while. You keep your eyes open.
Flash of Madam Sale. One step, then another, and along. Easy, Dick. Easy now, lad.
Did you ever see a Shawnee scalping knife? One swipe and your hair's going right down to your eyebrows.
That's blarney, Boone. Chop, chop! Come on! Lift! Up!
Harambe.
Harambe.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Hear something, Meacham?
No. I didn't hear nothing. Did you?
Yeah, I thought so.
Control, Meacham, control. I'm as nervous as a mother hen with a flock of new chicks. There's nothing out there.
I'd stick around here a minute longer.
Now, you listen to me, you bunch of lily-livered swabs. I'm paying you.
I know what you're paying us for, but I don't know for sure what's out there.
Oh, no, bills. You're shooting at a bunch of shadows. Now, you'll all obey my orders. Or so help me, I'll take the cat-o'-nine chance to you. That's it. Finish him. Come back here. Come back here, you bills water scoundrel. Come back, I tell you. I'll give you double your wages, triple your pay, you dirty rat. Meacham. Meacham. All right, Boone.
You can shoot, but can you reload? It's, what'd you call it, Webb? A checkmate?
What do you want?
Drop those pistols. Hand me the keys.
Harambe. Harambe.
You all right, son?
I'm fine.
I'm proud of you, boy. How many of them are there?
4.
I prepare my men for battle.
Madoda, ngifuna nihambe niyomlanda khona manje nimbulala abanye mabaye ngapha abanye baya ngapha ngisani ke madoda. Nihambe nimshaye nibabulale bonke.
Stay here.
Where you going?
I don't want the Shawnee to get the captain anymore than I want him to get you.
If you save him, I will kill him myself.
Pay for this by the great heart.
Goodbye, Mango.
Kamba, no!
Do you want him to leave? I'll let him leave.
You have taught me that all white men are not bad.
Perhaps even he is not all bad. But he no longer concerns me. I'll give him to you.
I think you owe him something.
For what?
For your miserable, money-grubbing life. Kamba, you see this? It says he owns you. You
Now look
and all
here,
of your
Boone, the
people.
laws of this
You want to talk to him about his country's laws?
Harambe! Sayitshisa ngoku le ncwadi. Bikade siqabangele. Yatsha. Sobe siphinde ngoku basibulala bebelungu. Harambe. Nizahamba ke ngoku. Nonke. Hambani. Now I'll take my people home.
You'll never make it, Kamba. If you continue east toward the morning sun, you'll just be captured again. But there is land beyond Cherokee country. You and your people can make your homes there.
What would we find there?
Good land, game for your hunters.
And this Cherokee, they will welcome us, even if we're different from them.
The Cherokee judge a man by what he does, by what he is.
And we'll live in freedom.
Yes.
You are sure no white man will come and will remain in peace?
I can't promise you that, Kamba. No man can. But you'll have as good a chance as anybody else.
Harambe.
Harambe.
Your son will be a great warrior. I will see you again.
We'll see you again.
You're blasted well right, you'll see him again. And by the great horn spoon, I'll see you again, King Kamba.
I doubt that, Webb. Without me, you can't even find your way back to Fort Boonesboro. Good luck.
Stay well.
You wasted your time, Boone. I'll find them. I'll get them back.
Go ahead.
Sala.
Sala.
Oh, but Donald, I could die out here if them heathen redskins don't get me first.
I can't argue about that.
But you can't let that happen, Boone.
What do you think, son?
Well, you saved his life once. Seems a waste to leave him here now.
All right, in that case, get in.
All right, Captain. You can start paddling.
Get in. Hey, you old hoss. How have you been? Gun, how are things in the North Country?
Oh, not too bad. Not too... Say, are you still pretty good with that old thing?
Oh, fair.
Say, that's not too bad for a mountain man, but watch this. Come on!
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Now, I'm right sorry, Daniel. I thought you was Injun. Besides, I met this fella over to the Cumberland the other day, and he figured I belonged up a tree, so I thought I'd try one out.
Well, I wish you'd have tried on him instead of me.
Well, I aimed to. I truly did. But before I could get around to it, something came over me, and I kicked him smack in the crick. All right, boy, you can come on down now and stop your sulking. I got a surprise for you. Come on, come on. There we go. Oh, yes, sir.
Well, now, don't tell me that's little Daniel.
Sure he is. Oh, will you just look at that growl face. Dear me, ain't he riled?
Ain't no use making up to me if you're gonna put me in a tree every time there's a mite of trouble.
Oh, ain't he a caution? You see, he figured to whoop himself a few Injuns with an axe I gave him, but I wouldn't let him. Where's your manners, boy?
Howdy. I'm real pleased to meet you.
Likewise, little Daniel.
See, I told you I had a surprise for you. This here's Daniel Boone.
It is?
Sure, the man you were named for in the flesh.
You ain't anywhere near 9 feet tall.
It's getting a bit chilly. Better get a fire going.
Little Donald, I used to be 9 feet tall a while back, but that was before your pappy lit on my head and squashed me down a little bit.
You're almost as bad as he is.
Hey, none of your sass now, boy. Come on, let's go out here and chop us some more wood. And you stay where I can hear you.
You keep pretty tight rein on him, don't you, Gideon? What is he, about 10 now?
Well, I got no choice. What with him wearing such an unusual pelt. You see, we had a little set-to with some Injuns about a week back. And, well, they was plumb wild to get a hold of little Daniel. Reckon maybe they figured to work him over some to see if his color'd come off. Then trade him off summers. Ain't nothing gonna happen to that boy, Daniel. He's all I got.
Jenny?
Fever took her. Be a year come Christmas.
I'm real sorry to hear that, Gideon.
Oh, weren't nothing nobody could do. Gets cold up there, Daniel. Colder than she could get used to, being from Virginia and all. I guess you gotta be born into that Canada weather like me to keep real happy in it. But she'd just keep looking up at me and laugh. With her teeth a-chatter and saying how she was a sight better off being free and freezing than being nice and warm in them slave quarters she run off from.
She left you a mighty fine-looking boy.
Got her eyes and her spunk. I reckon he'll make out all right.
This enough wood, Pa?
Yeah, that'll do fine, huh, before I start.
You can handle an axe real well, little Donald.
It wasn't nothing.
He's uncommon handy with them traps, too. I've been teaching him since he was a tyke. But what about you, Hoss? How's Israel and Rebecca?
Oh, they're fine. They'd be pleased to see you two. Unless you have other plans. But you still haven't told me what you're doing so far from home.
Well, truth be told, we was coming to see you. See, them lobster-backed fur companies have been trapping our land terrible thin. Tell them what we found the last time we checked our traps up home.
You mean that beaver in the red coat and three-cornered hat while off with us a pinch of snuff?
That's the one.
What about him?
You two fellas been talking to each other too long. You better hurry on in to Boonesboro with me.
Go get the pack and get some victuals out of them. We'll have some dinner, huh? See, you know, I got a real hankering for some clean territory. In fact, if you was interested, I had a notion you and me could start some new.
Well, I'd like that fine, Gideon. You know, I've been doing some mapping for the government. Now, I don't know whether you're going to believe this or not, but I found some places where you need a broom to sweep the beaver out of your path.
You recollect the winter for that first rendezvous? Why, you and me weren't much older than this here youngin'. You should have seen it, boy. There was so many beaver that the Cherokee was giving us trade goods to cart 'em off. They didn't hardly have a place to lay their heads before we'd helped 'em out. Why, they were plumb grateful.
I surely do wish I could have seen it.
So do I, boy.
Even so, Hoss, you got to admit it was pretty good in them days.
Still is. Still a lot of good trapping country left. Clean as man could want.
I tell you what we'll do. We'll come on into Boonesboro as soon as we collect our traps. Shouldn't take us more than a day.
See, I've got a notion. Little Donald, why don't you come on in with me, and that way you'd get a chance to get acquainted with Israel.
Can I, Pa?
Well,
never mind, Gideon. It's just an idea.
Oh, no offense, Daniel, but this is Injun country.
Aw, please.
I won't let him out of my sight.
Sure you can go, boy. Well, your pa's got no more sense than a pea hen. Well, I recollect the time I took little Israel out of fishing when he weren't no more than 5 or 6. We must have been gone a couple of days. And you not turning a hair.
Well, I knew he'd safe with you as he was with me.
Of course he was.
You mean I can go?
Sure you can go, boy, but that's not until morning. Now we got a guest for dinner, and we're going to need some more wood for the fire. So, come on. Go get us some more wood. And don't you forget what I told you. I apologize for all my foolishness, Hoss. Ain't nobody I'd trust him with as much as you. It's just...
I understand, Gideon.
I spend half my time teaching him to be a man in the woods and the other half acting like he's made out of duck's eggs. You gotta understand how it was with Jenny and me. She was, well, it's like when you're coming through the woods, all hot and hungry and plumb wore out. And all of a sudden you break into a clearing and there's a river rushing down from the mountain, all clean and sweet and wild. Kind of makes you want to bust out laughing. Or maybe crying. You know what I mean? Well, Jenny was like that. Like that river. And little Daniel, well, he's all there's left of Jenny and me. And if ever anything was to happen to him,
Remember, shoot only the man.
You stay right here.
Daniel, where is he? Where is he, Daniel? Where is he? Where is he, boy?
Winnebagos. 3 of them.
Well, did they kill him? Where is he?
Chummy. Took little Daniel.
Dear sweet Lord above.
Get in, wait.
Wait? I trusted you, Boone. I trusted you with my... Ain't no time for that now. I got to find my boy.
Get in.
Leave me be, Daniel. I got to find my son.
I'm coming with you.
You sure you want to come with me, Hoss? Because if I find them Indians, and if they've hurt my son, maybe you want to be a good far piece away from me. just one little bitty finger of light, boy. And I'm on them tracks again. You just hang on.
Maybe we can keep moving tonight.
I don't know how I missed it before.
How you missed what?
You gone plumb soft in your head these last 5 years, Hoss. It's dark out there. It's black as the back of my hand. Unless you soft-headed folks can see tracks at night.
Why would two renegade braves want little Donald? What was it you said? Or do you want to stand there hating me and feeling sorry for yourself? Or do you want to find him? Go ahead. What good would that do? Well,
they got no place of their own. Most likely they aim to take him to the nearest big village and trade him off for guns or a squaw or whatever they fancy they can get for him.
Well, we don't need light to find the nearest big village.
Not if we knew where it was at.
Due north. The same way they've been heading all day.
Where is he? Where's my boy?
We tied him up last night.
Taught him real good, all right. Trussed him up like a turkey, and he's all free as a bird. And quiet as a mountain cat. He's got his maw's blood in him, all right. Won't be more than a mighty bit of trouble to find him, don't you figure?
Most likely he's not too far away.
They took my boy.
They didn't hurt him.
All right, get. I said get! I'm just itching to cut somebody's head clean off!
Gideon.
You just keep planting them feet in a nice soft ground, boy, and your paw's gonna be right along. What is that, rapids?
Bear Falls. It was too dark, little black boy. Dead. In the big white water. I gave him your name, and you killed him. I'm gonna kill you, Boone! I'm gonna take your body and I'm gonna pitch it over them falls so you can take care of my son.
Got to find his body.
Gideon, wait.
Gideon.
You can't help him. The rocks.
You best stay away from me, Boone. I don't want to kill you. And I ain't right sure I can stop myself next time.
Rocks.
I said you ain't following me no more.
Gideon.
Wait.
Gideon! Gideon! Gideon!
You were right, Hoss. There ain't nothing left to find. But you got something left, don't you, Hoss? Israel Boone, just look at you. Why, you're nigh as big as your paw. Say, where is that old polecat anyway? I ain't seen him in nigh on to 5 years.
Little down!
Surely does smell pretty.
Well, it'll be ready in a minute. Maybe Dan will be here in time to eat with us. Oh, he'll be so happy to see you again.
Where is that old horse, anyways?
It's on a mapping trip. I expected him back yesterday, so he might come walking through that door any minute now. Yet again, you may end up eating his breakfast, too.
Well, I can't say that I'd mind that too much. Matter of fact, I was lying out there in the woods come first light. Lying there with my eyes closed, just thinking about how I'm going to reach into my pack and get me a piece of that appetizing jerky I've been carrying with me for about 1,000 miles. When all of a sudden, a couple of bobcats come strolling right into my camp. I bet you can't guess what them varmints did.
What?
Well, they marched right up to my pack, took themselves a healthy sniff of my victuals, then they turned and looked at each other, shook their heads. Then they both looked back at me and kind of looked sorrowful. And I'll be dead burned if they didn't tear out of there holding their noses.
Hope you brought some of that jerky along with you.
What for?
Well, sounds to me like a mighty good thing to have around the house. Scare off wild animals.
Now, why didn't I think of that first? I bet I could have made myself rich, selling it around to the settlement and all. Step right up, ladies and gents. Get yourself a mite of old Gideon's putrefying jerky. Hang it in your windows. Guaranteed to scare off bears, wolves, mountain lions, and hostile Indians. Oh, not to mention pesky neighbors. You know, it's your ma's fault if I don't get rich.
How come?
'Cause it was just about then that I smelled her cooking your breakfast. And I'd run 10 miles in 20 minutes before I remember that jerky.
Why, Gideon, Ma just started breakfast.
That a fact? Reckon maybe it was her just a-thinking about cooking breakfast I smelled.
Oh, Israel, you know you can't get the last word in with Gideon around. Go get dressed.
You won't go away, will you?
I'm going to stick to you like a tick, boy. Don't you fret. He's growing up real nice.
Thank you, Gideon. How's your family?
Oh, good, good, real good. Wish you could see him.
Oh, I wish I could, too. You know, Dan and I talk often about how wonderful it would be if you could bring them down here to live.
Well, we'd like that, you know, Rebecca. Especially Jenny. But it wouldn't be too safe, not with Kentucky being right on top of Virginia and all. Me and little Daniel, we got papers of the government of Canada saying that we're freeborn subjects of the king. But with Jenny, it'd be a right chancy thing.
Suppose you're right. Tell me, how is little Daniel?
Well, he's a lot like Israel, I reckon. Growing up straight and clean and full of nonsense. In fact, if you was to paint him a little bit here and a little bit there, it'd be right hard to tell the difference between them.
Little Daniel! Little Daniel!
Gideon, is something wrong? Gideon?
Oh. Truth be told, Rebecca, I've been living so long on deer meat and river water that this here plate of gorgeous food you got has got me a little bit giddy.
Do you think you should lie down?
Oh, no, I'm fine, truly.
Israel, are you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I think you'd better hurry and do your chores around here. It's about time for you to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Gideon. That's very nice.
He can't hear us, can he?
No.
Oh, good, because I don't want him to get all head up without you say it's all right.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, I was just funning you about not seeing Daniel. I brought little Daniel down here with me, and we met up with Daniel out on the trail a couple of days ago. So we got to talking, and we figured how nice it would be if we could get the young'uns together for a couple of days of hunting with their papas. So I left little Daniel with big Daniel, and I came on in here to fetch Israel. Of course, Daniel wanted me to ask you if it's all right.
Of course, Israel would love it. I just can't understand why Dan didn't come in himself.
Weren't finished with his mapping. Likeliest thing for me to seem to be to come by myself. Well, what do you say?
Dan did say it was important to get those maps delivered on time. Yes, of course, if Dan wants it. But not until he finishes work for Mr. Hawkins.
Who is this Mr. Hawkins?
The blacksmith. Israel promised to do a month of morning chores for him in exchange for a hunting knife.
Now, Rebecca, surely Mr. Hawkins will excuse the boy for a couple of days.
Well, he might, but I won't. And this is his last morning of work. A bargain's a bargain.
You mamas are all the same.
And so are you papas.
So there I was, lying flat on my back with this here great jumping bear looking down on me, and my powder was all gone.
Then what?
Well, then, this here great bear, he says, get in. Ain't no call for you to act so ornery. Why, I was just going to ask you to scratch my back. It itches something fierce.
Gideon,
What's
do you
that?
suppose you could teach me to tell lies like you?
Lies? Why, Israel Boone, as big as you are, boy, I'm going to swat you a good one. Now, go on to work. Go on. See you at the gate at noon.
And that'll be all, huh? All right, that's 1 and 38.
Put it on the bill.
Oh, Gideon!
Cincinnatus.
Good to see you.
Where you been, boy?
Where have I been? Oh, come on now. You ain't changed one bit, have you? Oh, Dobbs, this is Gideon.
Oh, what's the matter, Dobbs? Ain't you ever seen a black trapper before?
Well, well, no, can't say he's ever have.
Well, the North Woods is full of them. Count of the canamoose meat.
Canamoose?
Oh, yeah. Tastiest victuals you ever ate. The only problem is it turns you black. In fact, they told me if I don't quit eating on this stuff that I'm going to die looking like a regular pot bottom.
Is that so?
Yeah. You remember me about 5 years ago, Cincinnatus?
Oh, surely do, yes, sir. Why, you were just as white as this here sack of flour. White.
Yeah. Canamoose done it.
Do tell. Canamoose, huh?
Yeah.
Gideon, you shouldn't have done that. Why? See, you look plumb tuckered out.
Oh, I am a mite tired. I've been traveling a good piece.
Well, come on over here. I got something just to fix you up, and I'll tell you, it'll be on the house. It's so good to have you come back again, Gideon. Now, I'll join you.
Did you ever steal something from a friend, Cincinnatus?
Well, can't say as I have. Why?
What if that friend steals something from you?
Wouldn't say he was much of a friend if he did. Now, listen, I can't tell what you're talking about unless you tell me what you're talking about. Gideon?
Just take this thing out of my head. Little Daniel screaming and falling and screaming, breaking his body on them rocks. Never mind. It's fair, ain't it? Ain't it fair? His boy for mine. Even trade. Eye for an eye. Ain't it fair?
you to keep yourself good and warm. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if your feet get wet, there's some dry socks in your pack. And I want you to be a very, very good boy and mind Gideon and don't give him any trouble. And when you see your pa, give him my love.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Israel. Let's get. Your pa's a waiting.
Take good care of him, Gideon.
Don't you worry, Rebecca. I'll see to him just like Daniel would see to my boy.
Who is it?
It's Daniel, Becky.
Dan.
Open up.
Oh, Dan, I'm so glad. What happened? Is that Gideon's boy?
That's little Daniel. He's all worn out.
Well, where is... Oh, Dan, you're hurt.
It's just a scratch, Becky.
I don't understand. I thought...
Where's Israel?
He went to meet you.
With Gideon?
Of course. You sent him to fetch Israel, didn't you?
It's just a misunderstanding about where we're to meet. He didn't happen to say where they were going.
No, he didn't. Dan, there's something wrong, isn't there?
Well, you know Gideon, Becky. It's just one of his jokes. I'll have everything straightened out and have Israel back before you know it.
I'll get dressed and go with you.
Oh, you just slow me down. Look after little Daniel. He's going to need some cleaning. And we'll start right now. Everything's going to be all right, Becky. Now, go on.
Something wrong?
No, I was just testing you.
What?
Well, a man in the woods has got to sleep real light. Now, what if I was an Indian or a bear and you sleeping that hard?
Well, I guess I'd scratch your back, you'd say thank you, and go on about your business.
You're a caution, you are. Why, you're nigh as sassy as...
Something wrong?
No, I'm all right. I'm just thinking on some little never-mind thing.
Ma says if you wake up and you got scary things in your head, take 3 deep breaths and they'll all go away.
Your ma's a right smart woman. Let's give her a try, huh? She was right. You know, my head's almost as empty as my belly.
Want me to fix something? Pa showed me how quite a few times.
That would be real fine. But make sure you make enough for everybody now. Hey, everybody, hurry on up. Joe, Pete, Sam, hurry up. Israel's making breakfast.
Maybe I should make some extra. Ain't Pa and little Daniel gonna be here soon?
Well, I gotta tell you about that, boy. But first, let's get the victuals going and then make enough for you and me.
Tell me about what?
It's a little secret. Come on, little surprise. Let's get going. Good, real good, Israel. Yes, sir, real good.
Gideon?
Come on now, eat up.
What was that surprise you were gonna tell me? We gonna meet Pa someplace else?
Well, you see, your pa and little Daniel, they were here last night.
Right here where we are now?
See, I told you were sleeping too hard.
But where are they now? Why didn't he wake me up?
I'm coming to that. But eat up. Well, you see, your pa and me got to talking. And we figured how 'twixt us, that is your pa and me, well, we know just about everything there is to know about being out here in the wilderness. Then we struck upon this real fine idea.
What?
Well, we figured that the best way for you to learn what he don't know, and for little Daniel to learn what I don't know, is for us to swap boys for a couple of days. And see, when we're done, Why, you two young'uns would be just about the smartest there is.
Oh, you mean we might meet them tonight or maybe tomorrow?
Oh, ain't no use in being particular about a day or two here and there, or a week, or maybe a month or two.
I guess not. If you and Pa say so.
You know, I'm going to tell you a secret, Israel, even though your pa told me not to. You know what he told me last night? Gideon, he says, I don't want you to tell Israel because I don't want him to get a swelled head, but I'm mighty proud of that boy. Getting on to be a man. Ready to break loose from book learning and female apron strings and such.
Pa said that?
Surely did.
You know, he's got a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
Well, you eat up, son, and I'll show you. We got to move fast and light in the woods, boy. Come on, let's get.
But Gideon!
What you want?
Well, I thought maybe we could... We're still not very far from Boonesboro, are we?
Not near far enough. Why?
Well, I thought... I left something. Something very important.
What was that?
Well, my mom made me this new shirt last week, and I thought if we're going to be gone maybe a month or so, she'll feel real bad if I leave it.
You homesick already, boy? Feels like your pa was wrong about you.
Never you mind. She'll probably get over it. Be mad at me.
Let's go. What does your pa say?
He says not to go near it. It's too dangerous.
Funny, he never told me that. Oh, my boy.
What did I do, Gideon? What's wrong?
An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. That's right, ain't it? Ain't it? No good at all. You got to be out of your mind. Stealing children. You want Daniel? There's only one way. To get him back, and Jenny, too. Only one way. Listen to me, Israel. You think you can make it home from here?
All by myself?
Can you make it?
I think so.
Then you tell your pa. Tell him I'm sorry, and... Oh, never mind. Makes no difference no more. Goodbye, boy. Goodbye.
Where's Gideon?
By the falls.
Falls. I know you're tired, son, but we've got to go back there. Can you do it?
If you say so.
We're going to have to hurry. Gideon's in trouble.
Ain't nothing in this world I ain't done that I want to do. The sweet smell of pine smoke in my cabin. In the snow. Had me the most loving woman in the whole world. Snuggled in the crook of my arm. Rocking the cradle I fixed myself. Singing to the child. I can't see how I'd want much anything else. You leave me be!
I found him.
You're lying to me!
No, he's alive.
No, you're lying to me! Ah! Leave me be! Ah! Leave me be! Leave me be! I just been looking around, boy. Say, how would you like to live in these here parts?
Might not be bad.
Israel, I want you to meet little Daniel.
Howdy. Howdy. I heard about you. Same here. I heard you go to school. Now and then. You? Oh, some. Mostly hunting bears and such. You get much bears in these parts? Well, you know, we had a bear here that must have been about 10 feet tall. You should have seen him. He was so fierce that I just walked right